After 65, many people don't lose their usefulness overnight. It slips away quietly, often without warning. The good news is that it can be rebuilt, deliberately and on your own terms. Number 1. Stop measuring your worth by demand. For decades, usefulness meant urgency. Someone needed you at work, at home, or on a deadline. After retirement, that demand drops suddenly, and it's easy to confuse quiet with irrelevance. It isn't the same thing. Demand disappearing does not mean you stopped mattering. Think about how demand worked before. Your usefulness was measured by how fast you responded and how much pressure you carried. The system rewarded exhaustion, not meaning. After 65, usefulness shifts. It comes from presence, not pressure. Being useful now can look like showing up every Tuesday to help a neighbor sort paperwork, or being the person who reliably walks the same route and checks on an elderly friend, or being available to pick up a grandchild when plans fall apart. None of these roles feel urgent, but if you stopped, someone would notice. When you stop asking, "Who needs me right now?" and start asking, "Where do I choose to show up?" usefulness returns. Quietly, steadily, and without burning you out. Usefulness at this age is about intention, not demand. And once you internalize that shift, the constant feeling of being left behind slowly gives way to calm, chosen contribution that feels sustainable and genuinely satisfying time. Number 2, become a resource, not an authority. Earlier in life, usefulness often came from authority. You knew more, you decided more, you corrected more. That role worked when people depended on you. After 65, that same posture can quietly push people away, even when your intentions are good. Being useful now is less about directing and more about supporting. Think of the difference between giving instructions and giving space. When someone talks about a problem, resist the urge to fix it immediately. Let them finish. Ask what they're considering. Often, people don't want solutions, they want clarity. A concrete example. A son talking about work stress doesn't need a lecture on how things used to be done. He needs someone who listens without judgment. A neighbor struggling with paperwork doesn't need to be told what they should have done. They need someone who can sit with them and go through it calmly. When you become someone others can think out loud with, you become valuable again in a different way. People come back to those who make them feel understood, not corrected. Authority creates distance. Resourcefulness builds trust. At this stage, usefulness grows when people leave conversations feeling lighter, clearer, and less alone. That's not a smaller role, it's a deeper one. Number 3, choose one small role that depends on you. Many people think usefulness requires a big purpose, a project, a title, a mission. After 65, that belief often leads to frustration because large roles are harder to find and harder to sustain. What actually restores usefulness is something much smaller and more reliable. Choose one role where your presence would be noticed if it stopped. Doesn't need to impress anyone. It needs to matter in a quiet way. For example, being the person who opens the community room every morning, watering a neighbor's plants while they're away, walking the same dog with someone who struggles to go alone, checking in weekly on someone who doesn't receive many calls. These roles work because they create dependency without pressure. Someone counts on you, but not urgently. If you disappear, something small breaks. That's enough. The mistake many seniors make is waiting for a role that feels important before they commit. Usefulness grows in the opposite direction. You commit first, and importance follows. When you hold one steady responsibility, even a modest one, days feel structured again. You wake up knowing you're expected somewhere. That sense of being counted on, even lightly, rebuilds usefulness more effectively than any grand plan. Number 4, share experience without turning it into advice. Experience is one of the few things you have more of than most people around you. The problem is not the experience itself, it's how it's delivered. When experience turns into advice too quickly, people stop listening. They feel corrected instead of supported. Think about the difference between saying, "You should do this," and saying, "I went through something similar years ago." One closes the conversation, the other opens it. Stories invite reflection. Advice invites resistance. For example, if someone talks about a relationship difficulty, you don't need to explain what they're doing wrong. You can share how you once handled a similar situation, what surprised you, or what you wish you had understood sooner. Then stop. Let them take what they need from it. The same applies with work, parenting, or personal setbacks. Experience becomes useful when it's offered as perspective, not instruction. People absorb lessons more easily when they feel free to interpret them. When you share this way, people begin to seek you out naturally, not because you tell them what to do, but because your presence adds depth to their thinking. That's usefulness without pressure, and it lasts longer because it respects the other person's autonomy while quietly contributing something real. Number 5. Learn something new where you're clearly a beginner. One of the fastest ways to feel useful again is to put yourself back into learning. Not something you already know, and not something where you can rely on past experience. Something new enough that you're visibly a beginner. This matters because learning reconnects you to effort and progress. When you're always the experienced one, growth quietly stops. Being a beginner reintroduces movement into your life. It gives your days direction again. Choose something practical and real. Learning a new language enough to hold a basic conversation. Figuring out how to use a digital tool so you can help others later. Joining a class where people of different ages are learning the same thing at the same pace. Even learning a new skill with your hands, where progress is visible. But being a beginner also changes how people relate to you. They stop seeing you only as someone from the past and start seeing you as someone engaged in the present. You become approachable again. Usefulness often follows learning. Once you understand something new, you naturally start helping others who are just behind you, not as an expert, but as someone who remembers the struggle clearly. That kind of usefulness feels grounded, current, and alive, not borrowed from another phase of life. Number 6. Stop waiting for recognition. After 65, usefulness rarely comes with praise. There are no promotions, no titles, no clear signals that say, "You're doing well." Many people keep contributing quietly, but feel invisible because no one acknowledges it. Over time, that lack of recognition drains motivation. The mistake is waiting for feedback before acting. At this stage of life, usefulness doesn't announce itself. It shows up in consistency, being the one who always answers, the one who shows up on time, the one people rely on without thinking about it. For example, the neighbor who always locks the building at night, the person who makes sure a weekly activity runs smoothly, the grandparent who's always available, not just for big moments, but for ordinary ones. None of these roles come with applause, but they hold things together. When you stop measuring usefulness by recognition, you regain control. You act because it feels right, not because someone notices. Paradoxically, this often leads to more appreciation over time. People trust what's steady. Usefulness after 65 is quiet by nature. It doesn't need validation to exist. When you accept that, contribution becomes lighter, more natural, and far more sustainable. If this resonated with you, share your thoughts or experiences in the comments. Others reading may recognize themselves. And if these conversations matter to you, consider subscribing. I'll keep talking honestly about purpose, connection, and staying engaged as life changes.